Welcome to the Vlogz Automotive Podcast, episode 35. In today's podcast, I talk about the 2024 Hyundai Kona EV gets 260 miles of range in the U.S. Not even used cars can escape subscriptions. Rivian adds performance dual motor R1T configurations and shares new max pack ranges. EV startup Polestar braces for two product launches in less than 1 year. These were the 23 worst selling cars in the US in 2022, and cut gas and oil use with Ryobi's 42-inch zero-turn electric riding mower. If this is your first time here, thanks for clicking that play button. I'm Mario Gear, and I've been involved in the automotive industry for well over 15 years. I'm sharing my enthusiasm for all automotive topics with you. Let's begin. Our first story, the 2024 Hyundai Kona EV gets 260 miles of range in the U.S. The all-electric version of the redesigned Kona crossover beats the Chevy Bolt EUV and Nissan Leaf on battery range. Last month, Hyundai revealed specs on the 2024 Kona Electric, and at the time, the press release said the long-range version would have more than 300 miles of range, but that was on the European test cycle. Because the EPA is more conservative in its estimates than Europe is, we did some quick back of the napkin math and guessed that when the range was announced for the U.S., it would be more like 260 miles. Turns out we were right on the money. At the New York International Auto Show this week, Hyundai finally released the U.S. specs for the Kona Electric. The version with the most power and longest range will make 201 horsepower and 188 foot-pounds of torque. The Hyundai says the 64.8 kilowatt-hour battery should be good for 260 miles on a single charge. EPA numbers have not yet been reported. But if you're willing to sacrifice range to presumably save a little money, there's also going to be a less powerful version that makes 133 horsepower, 188 foot-pounds of torque. That version comes with a smaller 48.6 kilowatt battery that Hyundai says will give you 197 mile range. Both will be front wheel drive only. So here we go. So the Kona EV isn't something you'll want to take on a long road trip, but it should make for a solid daily driver, and the long-range version beats other popular semi-affordable EVs like the Chevy Bolt EUV with 247 miles of range or the Nissan Leaf SV with 212 miles. Hyundai also estimates that with 400-volt fast charging, you'll be able to recharge from 10 to 80% in a little less than 45 minutes. Oh, and the Kona EV also gets one pedal driving. The Kona isn't electric only, though. If you like the Kona but don't want an EV, there will also be two internal combustion engine options. You'll be able to pick between a 2-liter 4-cylinder that makes 147 horsepower, 132 foot-pounds of torque, or a 1.6-liter turbo 4-cylinder, good for 190 horsepower and 195 foot-pounds of torque. While the base engine uses a CVT, the turbo is paired with a more traditional 8-speed automatic. And unlike the electric version, all-wheel drive will be optional on the gasoline-powered Konas. Sadly, at least for now, there is no new Kona N. You'll still be able to order an N-line version, but that essentially is just an appearance package. Pricing also has yet to be announced, but we shouldn't have to wait long to learn that Hyundai says the gas version will go on sale this summer and the electric version will be available later this fall. There we have it. Yeah, comment down below. Man, some of these crossovers are starting to are becoming interesting. So comment down below what you guys think, and let me know. On to our next story. Not even used cars can skip subscriptions. BMW, General Motors, Toyota, and Volvo are planning to get used car buyers in on the subscription model. Automakers aren't just happy getting new car buyers to pay reoccurring subscription fees for luxury upgrades. Now they're working on launching subscriptions in used cars, which have thus far been immune to the monthly fees on many of these latest BMW, Volvo, General Motors, and Toyota models. Now that newer vehicles are hitting the U.S. used car market, there are more models with subscription powered connected capabilities available to secondhand buyers, and car makers now see their proprietary apps and services as the best way to lure used car owners into subscriptions. Research from LexisNexis suggests that the majority of used car owners, or about 83%, are not fully taking advantage of these apps and services, which often come with subscription fees to access certain software and hardware features. Toyota has a Remote Connect, for example, which lets you remotely lock, unlock, or start your car from a smartphone app. There's also GM subscription-based Super Cruise advanced driver assist system, as well as the unabilitic OnStar, which provides crash response and roadside assistance. All of these services function as software add-ons that new car owners can activate or deactivate long after purchasing their vehicles. Used car buyers are now getting roped into the same familiar song and dance that now accompanies buying anything from a smartwatch to a bathroom scale. You buy a device, go to your smartphone app store, download the corresponding app, and that's the constant point of contact car makers need. Funny how the elevator pitch for subscriptions always revolves around choice. Buyers can opt in and out whenever they so choose, and it says automakers, but that's just a palatable way to saying that features that were once permanent in a car simply aren't anymore. With the average age of cars in the U.S. roads approaching 12 years, car makers now see used car buyers as an untapped market potentially worth billions, as Wired explains. General Motors CEO Mary Barra cites internal company research shows that car buyers are willing to spend on average $85 a month on subscriptions. Whether that's an aggregated of all the other monthly fees we've begrudgingly accepted is unclear, but GM estimates subscriptions could yield $25 billion annually by 2030. There's likely more money to be made by targeting every subsequent car buyer, not just the first, which is why it's hardly surprising that the subscription model would creep into used cars at some point. Yeah, get them while you can, get them while you're going. I was like, what's to keep the auto manufacturers from, dialing back performance opportunities for the cars? You know, a performance calibration tune for the car. Squeak out whatever. Oh, and it's like, oh, you didn't pay your subscription this month? Oh yeah, we're turning off your performance calibration upgrade or whatever. So instead of being a 700 horsepower car, oh now it's going to be a 450. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next story. Comment below what you guys think about these subscription models hitting used car markets. Um, it's just basically free money for these dealerships. That's all it is, for signing people up when they sell the cars. Yeah, let's go on to the next story. Rivian adds performance dual motor R1T configuration and shares new max pack ranges. After removing the quad motor Max Pack R1T from its configuration last December, Rivian has followed through on its promise to deliver a higher horsepower or quote performance dual motor option to reservation holders. The American automaker shared specs and pricing today, along with updates ranges for dual motor R1T configurations using MaxPack. Days after reporting, it remains on track to its 2023 production output target. Rivian looks to finally share updated delivery times for current R1Ts. Reservation holders who were told they would need to reconfigure their electric pickups. Rivian announced it would be removing the option to select a quad motor powertrain and the 400-mile range max battery pack this last December, sharing that those current reservation holders would need to settle for the large pack to keep 4 motors or switch to the dual motor powertrain to keep the max pack. At the time, Rivian shared that reservation holders who opted for the dual motor option could expedite their delivery window to early 2023. Rivian also states that versions of the R1T would deliver about 400 miles of range and 600 horsepower, while also promising an incoming performance dual motor option with 700 horsepower. As of today, Rivian R1T configurator now features the performance dual motor powertrain option alongside EPA range for the Max Pack. Rivian Max Pack can still deliver 400 miles of range. As initially pointed out by Rivian forum members, RIPT, current R1T reservation holders are now receive instructions to reconfigure their EV to the automaker's new parameters to learn their updated delivery timeline. Rivian followed up with a release of its own, explaining how the powertrain options vary, seen above, now including the performance dual motor all-wheel drive option. As initially advertised, Rivian's performance configuration delivers 700 horsepower and 400 miles of range with the selected Max Pack. Here are the new range variations as posted by forum member Rivian Express. Dual motor, large pack, 300-mile range, 20-inch wheels, 350 miles with 21-inch wheels, 320 miles with 22-inch wheels. Rivian Max Pack, 335 miles with 20-inch wheels, 400 miles with 21-inch wheels, 360 miles with 22-inch wheels. Quad motor currently shipping, large pack only, 274 miles with 20-inch wheels, 328 miles with 21-inch wheels, and 303 miles with 22-inch wheels. Initial response on the forums is disappointment in the range drop off between wheel sizes and styles from the 21-inch wheels on the dual motor Max Pack 1 or R1T, but the option does promise 400 miles of range as previously stated by Rivian. The Max Pack doesn't make as much sense for reservation holders now opting for the 21-inch wheels with optimal tires to maximize range. A dual motor R1T with large battery pack offers similar range at a lower cost. The stated delivery windows are currently being updated as reservation holders select the best option for them given the new options and available specs. Did you reserve and the R1T and get an email from Rivian? What options are you going with your estimated deliveries? So there we have it. So comment down below. EV startup Polestar braces for 2 product launches in less than 1 year. Software-related hiccups in the development of Volvo's new SPA2 vehicle platform could complicate Polestar's ambitions to expand in the U.S. market. Electric vehicle maker Polestar is witnessing the downside of the asset-light strategy that is key to its rapid growth plan. To operate fast and easy, Polestar is reliant on a global partner to help produce its models. But when those partners can't deliver according to plan, Polestar's strategy can kneecap its growth. That is what's happening to the Swedish startup. Polestar is part of a portfolio of brands controlled by Chinese Zhengili Holding Group, which includes Volvo Cars, Link and Company, and Lotus. The Chinese conglomerate network of global factories, supplier networks, and R&D centers allow the young brand to focus on product and technology rather than manufacturing or logistics according to the plan. But software-related hiccups in the development of Volvo's new SPA2 vehicle platform could complicate Polestar's ambitions to expand in the U.S. market. The Polestar 3 midsize crossover based on the SPA2 architecture has been delayed by nearly a year, causing a cascading effect on Polestar's commercial strategy. The fledgling brand suddenly finds itself juggling back-to-back production rollouts. The Polestar 3 is now expected in U.S. stores in the fourth quarter, and only about 9 months later comes the coupe-style Polestar 4 crossover. When everybody is scared of one launch, how can we launch 2 cars from an industrial... Excuse me. Sorry about that. Where was I when the sneeze fest started? Okay, let's go here. When everybody is scared of one launch, how can we launch 2 cars from an industrial point of view? Wondered CEO Thomas Ingelath, I think, in an interview with Automotive News on the sidelines of a Polestar 3 event here. Scaling fast. Polestar's predicament illustrates the downside of reliance on others for products development and manufacturing. The delay of Polestar's first crossover and a critical U.S. model is hurting its retailers' bottom line. With just one model to sell, dealers say they don't have throughput to justify their investment in high-rent shopping center stores. A year earlier or later makes a difference in the marketplace when competitors are developing cars, says the president, a lanky German designer with a penchant for tailored suits and turtlenecks. When Polestar can't fully control its destiny with the collaborative model, he said it should still more pragmatic approach for rapid scaling up. By about mid-decade, Polestar will flesh out its model lineup with crossovers, a large sedan, and a Roadster. We would be in a completely different situation if Polestar had instead decided to build its cars from scratch. The CEO points out to Tesla, the only automotive startup in recent history to achieve market scale, as an example of how long the go it alone strategy would take Polestar. Tesla has been doing this now for over a decade. That definitely takes a long, long time. So, yep, there we have it. Trying to scale up fast, so go figure on that one. Yeah, comment down below what you guys think. Here we go with our first. No, actually, it should be our fifth story. Fifth story. Let's see. These were the 23 worst selling cars in the U.S. in 2022. From unpopular alternative fuel vehicles to discontinued models carrying over for one last year, each car on this list has a reason for slow sales. It would be a compliment to say new vehicle sales were lackluster in 2022. Last year's sales figures were at their lowest in over a decade, with supply chain issues and high interest rates the most significant factor behind the decline, things mainly outside the control of automakers. However, many of the industry trends remain intact despite sinking sales. The three best-selling vehicles in the U.S. remain pickup trucks, the Ford F-Series, Chevrolet Silverado, and Ram pickups. The other end of the list is an entirely different story, though there isn't a blanket reason why all of these models are down there. Each car on the list has its own reasons, from rarely used, few sources, to discontinued model carryovers. Here are the 25 worst selling cars in the U.S. for 2020 based on data sourced from Good Car, Bad Car. Note that I've removed new models that were not available for most of 2022. Okay, let's start a slideshow and see how it goes. Let's see. The Toyota Myra, only 2,094 were sold in 2022. Let's go on to the next model. Mercedes-Benz SL Class, only 2,027 were sold in 2022. Hyundai Veloster N, only 19,020 units were sold. Infiniti Q60. Volvo 90 series. Audi A8. BMW Z4. Land Rover LR4. Lexus LC. Jaguar F-Type. Volkswagen R-Tune. Genesis G90. Jaguar E-Pace. Jaguar XF. Fiat 500X. Audi TT. Jaguar I-Pace. Hyundai Nexo. Audi R8. Wow. I was expecting that one to hit the list. I still would want one, but that's another story. Acura NSX. Wow. Nissan 370Z. Dodge Journey. Toyota Land Cruiser. And that was it for the list. So yeah, comment down below what you think of the list, if any of those vehicles were justified or not. Yeah, let's go on to our, I think our last story. So, one sec. And here's our last story. Cut gas and oil use with the Ryobi's 42-inch zero-turn electric riding mower at $3,499 in new green deals. Riding mowers have long been the tool of choice for large yards and have also been a gas-guzzling and maintenance-ridden machine. Well, Ryobi's 42-inch 100-amp-hour zero-turn riding mower aims to change that. It can cut up to 3 acres on a single charge and doesn't have any noisy motors, smelly exhaust, or troubling maintenance to take care of. Right now, you can pick up a 42-inch mower for $3,499 at Home Depot, which is $1,500 under its typical $4,999 going rate there. We also have a wide selection of Tesla and e-bike discounts in today's new green deals, so you won't want to miss out on that either. Head below for other new green deals that we found today, and of course, Electek's best EV buying and leasing deals. Also check out the new Electrek Tesla shop for the best deals on Tesla accessories. Are you still using gas and oil to mow? It's time to stop. Today only, as part of its special buy of the day, Home Depot is offering a wide range of outdoor yard tools on sale to help kick gas and oil out of your weekly routine. Our top pick is the Ryobi 42-inch 100-amp zero-turn cordless electric riding mower for $3,499 shipped, down from the normal $4,999 going rate at Home Depot. Today's deal marks the best price that we've tracked in fact. Our last mention of a similar system was the $4,099 back in March, though that model did have a bagging system attachment, which added to the overall value. If you're still having to fill a riding mower or walk behind mower with gas weekly, then it's time to stop that bad habit. Ryobi's riding mower ditches both gas and oil, as well as air filters, spark plugs, and noisy engines for a cordless electric experience. Since there's no engine, the noise is reduced really just to just that and of spinning blades. On top of that, there's built-in headlights, so you can mow day or night, and it's even all weather, so you can keep going even when the rain comes. Being a zero turn, you won't have to worry about obstacles when mowing either, as it can simply spin around anything in its path. Do keep in mind that this model has a lead acid battery, however, so it won't be quite as easy to service as newer lithium-ion models. though that does allow it to come in at a much lower price. Huh. Yeah, and there's some more other articles on buys on this thing, so yeah, take a look. So yeah, let me know what you think of all of those stories. And as always, like I've said, um, like, share, and comment, and follow me and on all of my social media platforms.